Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another installment of Show to Be with Mike G, the show of a life, the show of tequila, the show of San Antonio. Lots of Depeche Mode talk, lots of Stone Temple Pilots talk. Today, with the proprietor / founder of the Boulevardier Group in San Antonio, Jeret Pena, one of the brightest personalities and forefathers of the cocktail culture in San Antonio, with no signs of slowing. You might know him from the Brooklynite. You might know him from Last Word in San Antonio. But do you know him from being a tenor, a vocalist in rock bands, being a huge Depeche Mode fan, and highly influenced by Scott Weiland? Yeah, me either. I had no idea about this stuff with Jeret. And we have a great chat sitting down in the back of the Brooklynite. We learn a whole lot about Jeret, the man, the myth, the legend. So without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy this chat with Jeret Pena.
Celebration was a perfect example of like them like sampling different sounds that they would hear from all over the place. That's kind of crazy.
It's so strange. Like here, I dropped my phone. Well, that's going to be a snare drum now.
But also lyrically, they're beautiful lyrics.
Yeah.
I mean, Martin Gore probably is the most underrated songwriter.
I always feel so sorry for Martin. Not because he didn't have money or didn't have family or women or anything.
And an alcoholic.
Yeah, well, drug addict too. I heard some stories about him at Numbers in the 90s in Houston.
I heard that he would go to La Mansión back in the day on the Riverwalk, and he would get just slammed wasted and playing the piano at El Colegio Lounge.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yeah, like I heard like him and Dave, they were just like, he was wasted out of his mind, the bartender told me, and just like going to town on the piano and singing, and I was like, man, I wish I was there.
A fly on the wall. I wouldn't have given it.
Fly on the windscreen.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Death is everywhere.
Yeah, death is.
Man, yeah. So this is it's good because I don't know why I end up talking about music so much, but I feel like something about creating cocktails and flavors and things. There's a lot of notes to it, and then you always see like tasting notes, flavor notes, all these kinds of things, and notes are they're music, right?
True.
And so like, when you have a cocktail, like, I don't know, let's take something simple like a daiquiri. Do you ever think of it in that way, where like sings high treble, but then it has low bass, like all these kinds of things?
I don't think of it in that aspect, but yeah, I mean, I always like to think about cocktails in the sense of, there's major components that you want to add to cocktail, whether it's sour, sweet, bitter.
Yeah. And
some, spirits are going to have a stronger presence, like using a Martinique rum instead of using, a Spanish style rum. I mean, that cocktail is going to sing completely differently than that of like using even a Jamaican. I mean, that's the beautiful. I mean,
Dave and Martin.
That's right.
Yeah. Totally the difference. Like you've got.
So who would be the Jamaican?
Dave, soulful dark.
Yeah,
that's the
Martin is the Martiniques.
Oh, sure. Like, no pun intended. Even, but yeah, he's like the agricole type, a little bit lighter, brighter, more delicate, more deep,
much more depth.
Yeah, but not the like sultry, dark caramelness that is Dave Gone. Because that's what I think of. Like where he hooks
deep, what is that? It's like he's like deep. It's deeper than a tenor. I mean, what is that? Like it's a baritone almost.
I think he's tenor, but he dips into baritone at times. I think
because some of those songs. I mean, the like which one is like I'm trying to think of which song. Like he went really, really deep on a couple songs. I think it was. Well, you know what? Sweetest Perfection. That was
Sweetest Perfection.
That was Martin Gore though.
Martin singing that.
That's
song?
Martin. That shows
that low.
That low.
No shit. Really?
Yeah.
What? I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, like Martin his range is stupid. Yeah. I mean, he can hit those crazy high notes like from what's that one song from Songs of Faith and Devotion? The one
Mercy.
No, not Mercy in You.
Not Mercy in You.
The one Lord, the one with.
Are you talking about Dave or Martin? Yeah, Condemnation.
Condemnation. So the background of him like hitting this really high note, that's Martin Gore hitting this extremely high note.
Really?
Yeah.
Singing like a choir? Like a
choir, yeah.
That's so crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah, something about Depeche Mode. I don't know what it is, but I listen to music for masses on the way back from our Christmas vacation.
Yeah.
I've listened to it in a different way than I ever had. Like, to Having to Hold, it was like kind of a throwaway song to me. No, that is a fucking amazing song. And it's like, even if it's only 2 minutes long and it's only one part, it's just so haunting, and it really helps cement that whole record.
Sometimes is another beautiful song.
Oh,
it's like completely like a minute and a half maybe.
Yeah.
And just him just going to town on this and beautiful. I mean, his vibrato is even stronger in that song than a lot of the other ones.
I hear that when he wrote it, I don't know if you heard this, like he was basically naked in his basement playing piano, and that's how he wrote that song. That seems to make some sense. That totally makes sense.
I mean, those dudes are all super crazy.
They're totally crazy.
I love it though. I mean, you have to love crazy,
and they still do it too. You know?
Yeah.
And so it kind of, you think music is, because you were talking a little bit earlier, and it's like you didn't necessarily go do live music, but I imagine you found your place like with some headphones and trying to concentrate, and like music was an influential thing for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I would say definitely Stone Temple Pilots was one of my favorite like bands. I mean,
how do you feel about?
I was
Scott?
completely saddened. I mean, literally, I shed a tear. And I called my brother that night because I was in a band. I mean, I didn't get to tell you that. So I was
you were in a band?
Yeah, I was in a band.
What'd you play?
I was vocals.
No shit.
Yeah.
When was this?
19. Then I hung out with some friends and we just jammed out at their house for a while when I was in my mid-20s because I already had a kid.
Yeah.
I wasn't really, I was working my ass off. I wasn't able to do much. But I mean, I kind of created my voice based on Scott Weiland.
Yeah.
So the first song I ever heard of STP was Plush, and I was just blown away. I was like, at that time, I was the apocalyptic movie from Stephen King. What's it called? The
Stand.
The Stand was that show was being being shown on
BBC.
And
the
while
miniseries.
it was a really dark miniseries, and while that was being shown, I was listening to Plush, and there's like this direct
some
dark.
So you're telling me that your vocal style, and this is unprecedented. I don't think anyone's ever mentioned this before, but your vocal stylings are a perfect hybrid of The Stand by Stephen King.
Oh God,
and Weiland, and from fucking Stone Temple Pilots.
But also you have to throw in Martin Gore in there.
Sure. Well, the vibrato.
Well, because I was in San Antonio Boys Choir when I was a kid.
Were you really? What baritone, tenor?
Tenor.
Yeah, you seem like a tenor.
Yeah. So I mean, it was like you can ask my brother. I'm a huge lover of Martin Gore and all things he does. I have his Counterfeit album.
Oh yeah, all the solo stuff's great.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, Don't Turn Your Back on Mother Earth was like just this beautiful song.
And I think do you think it appeals to your sensibilities as a choir kid? Because he is so operatic. Like he's so technically proficient as a singer too, which is pretty rare for like in modern music that someone's that good technically of a singer.
He is. Like, I mean, if you really, I love listening to him sing because, I mean, as he's pronunciating like the words beautifully.
Yeah.
And there's distinct. I mean, I know a lot of them have voice coaches so that they can perfect the actual words within their song while they're singing and recording. It's just like
it sends shivers down your spine.
No, it does. Okay. I mean, he's amazing.
So where did that music career as a vocalist take you? Were you just jamming, or did you play out?
Just jamming.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough time to do really much.
Did you like writing lyrics and stuff too?
I have a little stuff.
Yeah. Do you still write?
I don't have any time anymore. Yeah. I really haven't written anything in about 6 years.
Oh, no kidding. How old are you now?
34.
34. Yeah. So that's not. I mean, that's what happens. You kind of
grow up.
Well.
God damn it! Did I just say that?
Yeah.
While I'm sipping whiskey at 11 in the morning.
11:40. Some privileges that life gives us sometimes. There's that at 11:47 a.m. on New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve, so that like all bets are off anyway.
Sort of. I mean, I still got to work.
Yeah, but you don't have to drink too much.
This is true.
This is true.
It's not like I'm 25 again. Where
you can deal with more of it now.
Yeah,
and you're drinking good stuff.
No, indeed.
But so, did you ever want to do? Was that ever a passion that you wanted to do and go touring and everything?
At one time, I really wanted to like be a lead singer for a band, and it was always I had several dreams. That was one dream, to be a lead singer in a band. The other one's to be a politician.
No kidding.
Yeah, crazy, right?
No, that's not so crazy. I think people would say like, oh yeah, I think Jeret could make a good councilman. What level of government you really
local?
Local. Never like a senator or anything like that.
No, that's not me.
You just like the local community.
Yeah, I love supporting local communities. I love San Antonio. I really do love my town. I've been working in the service industry since I was 18.
Right? Yeah.
I worked at this really wonderful restaurant called Polo's at the Fairmont Hotel, which was one of the first fine dining restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the big chefs started at Polo's
at
the Fairmont Hotel. Yeah.
Interesting.
So the Fairmont Hotel was located on Commerce Street, and it is the largest building to ever be moved. They literally lifted the building off of its foundation and moved it 5-6 blocks.
That's it. They moved just for 5-6 blocks.
It's a historic, beautiful building.
Why did they have to move it?
Because they're going to build the River Center Mall.
Oh, okay.
It used to be a housing and lodging. It was a whorehouse. There was like all kinds of crazy history behind it. Yeah,
that's a good stuff.
I would have probably visited.
As a politician, I mean, that would especially be a place.
That's where you take your other politician friends and
hey, you looking for a good time? Got 4 floors of horse. Actually, it's probably more than 4 floors.
It was 3.
3 floors. Oh, okay.
It was tiny. It was beautiful, tiny little
boutique. Like when was it built?
Oh,
ish.
I would like probably late 19th century.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was like late 19th century. I don't know the exact history.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I mean, that's the thing about San Antonio that I feel like is a little undocumented, because the cocktail culture it's not I guess you could call it a resurgence, but the type of popularity and the sprawl of cocktails, like you can go to St. Louis, right, and get a good cocktail. Mm-hmm. That was not the case like when Craddock was around or Jerry Thomas. Like that, it was only in metropolitan areas, hotels and stuff.
So San Antonio, back at the turn of the century, even going to the beginning of the 20th century, was one of the largest cities in the country. Yep. It was the largest city in Texas. It was a gigantic, one of the biggest cities west of the Mississippi.
No shit.
And it became really poor after World War II.
So what was it up to before World War II? What was the main thing? Commodity, manufacturing, or
I don't know that part of the history. I just know I do know specific parts of the history, and the city became extremely poor after World War II.
Interesting.
It stopped growing. And it's evident in the architecture around here. So in a lot of major cities, the downtown area grows out, and it encompasses other neighborhoods. You start tearing down. So back in after World War II, you start tearing down older neighborhoods to build up larger buildings, and that's common in a lot of larger cities.
Mm-hmm.
There was very little growth after World War II, so a lot of the beautiful homes that exist right outside downtown are still around. You can go to Monte Vista, and all those homes were built in the early 20th century. Beautiful homes, hardwood floors, pier and beam, and they're still up. And a lot of places even closer to downtown are still up because there was very little development after that. No
kidding. That's so strange. It's just like the economy abandoned San Antonio in a sense.
Yeah.
And I only could speculate, but maybe if manufacturing was such a big thing for the war, maybe like post-war time.
Houston, Dallas started taking off. I think Houston became a much bigger city just because of the port and import, export, oil.
For sure. Interesting. So did you grow up then in San Antonio?
I did grow up here.
Whole lot, like born and raised.
Born and raised. I mean, there was really nothing to do. There was shit here in San Antonio for a really long time.
Yeah. What kind of trouble did you get into?
I was a pretty good kid. I went to private
choir
school.
Boy.
I was a choir boy. I went to an all boys school, Catholic school.
Oh shit, really?
That's why
So when you got out, like, you have a kid immediately?
Like I mean, just as all good Latin American Catholics do.
You build it up, man. What are you gonna do?
I grew my hair out long because I love David Gahan so much. Like had like that long kind of like shoulder length hair.
Yeah. Any tattoos?
I didn't get tattoos until 2-3 years ago. I've always wanted tattoos. I just never got around doing it.
Yeah. And luckily no heroin habit, it didn't seem like.
I'm kidding. Just kidding. I just wanted a little bit of a silence there.
No, but that's good. I mean, take the things that work. And so what kind of stuff were you like particularly interested in when you're going to this boys' school? Besides music, or was
Magic
it just
the Gathering?
Magic the Gathering. You mentioned this.
Yeah, I love Magic the Gathering.
What? Wow.
So I played, because so not only was I in a boys' choir, but I also played basketball.
Oh, okay.
I was a pretty good basketball player. Like not.
Yeah. How tall are you?
6 foot.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I grew like 7 inches in one summer, so I just became really awkward and lanky, and didn't grow into
your body. Yeah.
Didn't grow into my body. It took me about a year before I became coordinated again.
Mm-hmm.
And by then, it was already the finish of my high school basketball career. But
Damn.
I got really good.
Did you ever set your eyes on doing something with it? Going to college?
No. I by the time Towards the end of my senior year, like my basketball career, I literally just started, like it was already done.
Yeah.
And I started shooting lights out, but it was just too late. Like I would have, after that, I got into a little band after high school, then met my ex-wife.
Yeah.
And then
ex-wife. So when did you get married that first time?
I got married in 2000. What was it? Oh shit! What was it? 2000. 2000.
I'd rather erase the memory from my mind.
No kidding.
So you get out of high school, and so I'm trying to paint this picture, right? Like
I got out of high school within 1 year. I was in a band, grew my hair
band's
long.
good, long hair, no more
basketball,
playing pool, drinking, or were you too young still?
I was drinking.
Yeah, good. Well, I mean,
playing tons of pool.
Pool.
Yeah.
Were you drawn to?
I just love playing pool. Like my cousin's boyfriend was a huge pool fan, and he would take me to these really cool pool halls up on the north side of San Antonio, and we would just play. I literally every day I'd play pool.
Do you hustle?
No, I was never that good. I was good, but not that good.
Not that good. But you could hustle a mid-range bar.
I wanted to get a pool table here. Like, we're in the back part of the Brooklynite.
Yeah.
We changed it up. Originally, it was all these tall tables, and we got rid of them, put banquettes in here, and now we have a foosball table. We have a shuffleboard.
Shuffleboard, yeah.
I really
some
want
dartboards too.
I love darts.
Darts, it's good.
Yeah.
It becomes increasingly more dangerous, though, as you drink, I think. Because you don't care about your form as much.
Well, sometimes we play extreme darts and we move it back 14 feet rather than 8, and we start throwing from 14 feet away. It's Rob, my business partner, Rob Gourlay, plays that. He's just stupid. He's just stupid.
How much more accuracy do you get the farther and the drunker that you get away from the dartboard?
It diminishes pretty
exponentially, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Right? So the music thing, it's strange because I have a lot of friends that both girls and boys, males, females, whatever, they get out of Catholic school and things just it's like they're stunted in a sense. Not to say you were, but not even culturally, but like socially they just break out.
Yeah, well, I didn't really like my school or most of the kids that I went to school with. They're like, I really like, there's alumni tournaments, and I was just talking to one of my friends today on Facebook. I haven't been to one in like over 10 years because I don't like most of the people that I went to school with.
Were they like, what was to dislike? Like, why didn't you mesh with them?
Oh, got a huge list other than like, bunch of, jock meatheads.
Yeah.
I played sports, but I was never a football player.
Yeah. Which is different. It's a whole nother level.
Different. Yeah. It's just it was just dumb shenanigans all the time. I mean, it was fun. Like half the time was really fun because there was all boys, so you can get away with so much more shit.
Hell yeah.
Oh, dude, some of the shit we pulled off there.
You ever burn down a building?
No, good. That's like really like horrible, evil shenanigans. I'm talking about some of the stuff we did was
moderate, like sophomore level shenanigans.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like going to college after school?
I did want to.
What'd you want to study?
Business administration.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to like own businesses and whatnot.
Yeah. So you got into trouble, like relationship wise, once you got out of high school?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it didn't happen for about a year. I mean, I was single for a year, having to get time, long hair going, like Samson, just
hell yeah. And when you cut it, did everything go to shit? That's how it works in the Bible, I hear.
I mean, but yeah, it's Old Testament. More of a New Testament guy.
More New Testament, Exodus, whatever. Deuteronomy.
Yeah,
that's a
Pentateuch,
book.
the first 5.
Very good. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, we're gonna have a Bible talk for a second. Actually, I know shit about the Bible.
Nor do I.
Good. Well, you seem like you know a lot.
Just a little bit.
Just enough to get by on Jeopardy.
Get me in trouble. Yeah.
So you had I think So when I look at the stuff that you've done, I met you when you had been opening the Brooklyn. I actually first met you when you did a guest bartending stint at Midnight Cowboy.
That was fun.
That was fucking cool. But the thing was that we could deal it. We could shovel it out, the wit and the sarcasm, and it didn't bug either one of us.
No.
And so it was like, I think I kind of get this dude, And then it's lo and behold, Depeche Mode in your blood, in my blood. Yeah. It's something that people can bond to.
No, Depeche Mode is like a bonding agent for people. That and the Smiths.
Oh, Jesus.
We don't even need to talk about the Smiths yet.
The Smiths? Yeah.
Yeah, done. Yeah.
Done. Johnny Marr. Even Johnny Marr's solo stuff's good. I like it.
I haven't really, I'm a Morrissey guy.
Yeah, I understand.
Hit me. I like voices.
Yeah.
So like to me, like
Johnny Marr doesn't have a good voice.
No, I'm all about like a good solid voice because I'm a singer, so I'm like
that's what you kind of attracted to.
Correct.
So the Brooklynite then, because you were opening up, you did the guest stint at Midnight Cowboy to fuck around, I guess, with Austin and like
a lot of fuckery.
People. Yeah, lots of fuckery. But then we kind of started. I think there was like a kindredness to it. We had a lot of things in common and stuff. But the one thing that was pretty apparent is that you were a good dad. You know, I didn't know that about you at first, but then, you know, vicariously living through your Facebook feed, I can see like you're out there with your wife, you're doing things. You have a son. How old's your son now?
He's 2.5.
2.5. So like 2.5 years, like just went by like
and
that.
I have a 14-year-old who
and your daughter, right, from your first marriage?
Been raising since she was 7.
Is it joint custody?
Yeah, but she's with me 95% of the time. Yeah.
How was that raising a teenage female?
It was hard.
Yeah.
It was real hard. Yes, you know, my brother lived with me for 7-8 years.
Mm-hmm. Older brother, younger brother?
Younger brother.
Jarrell,
yeah.
Jarrell, yeah.
And, you know, he was total dude, bro.
Yeah.
You know, he's a total bro.
Goatee.
Yeah, goatee, like frat boy, old ex-frat boy.
Oh, really?
Oh, he's actually, he's really fantastic with my daughter.
That's so cool.
But, you know, my daughter grew around a bunch of dudes.
Yeah. Is she kind of tomboyish as a result, or?
A little bit.
Yeah.
She's not like, I mean, she's not prissy like a lot of the girls her age.
Right. She's 14 now, you said?
She's 14. She's kind of into emo. I fucking hate it.
Oh, yeah. Real big surprise.
But it's like the horrible emo. It's like...
What? Like what? Like the eyeliner and...
Yeah.
Like, what is emo now?
I don't know.
I'm going to totally date my fucking self. Like, what? I don't understand at 12 o'clock on New Year's Eve of 2015 what emo is now.
So I never listened to emo, but I just know my daughter is encompasses all things that are emo. Like, it's just like... I ask her to do something. She's like, it's like just the world is falling apart.
Why?
Yeah.
The world sucks, Dad.
This is horrible, Daddy. Yeah, no, she just like, it's pretty rough. But she's actually a really good girl.
Yeah, I'm sure she's probably really smart, driven, gets all that stuff from you. You and her mom have a pretty good relationship?
Yeah, we have a solid relationship. We're cool. I mean.
Is her mom emo?
No.
No.
So
it came from you, 100%.
More than likely. I mean, I'm definitely...
Emo is genetic, from what I hear.
I guess so. Maybe it skips a generation. Maybe I think my mom would have been emo if she was...
Is your son emo at all?
He's intense. He's more of a, like... He's going to be probably a little rocker. Like, he has a pretty deep... Like, he's going to have a deep voice. Like, my wife, you know... My wife's from Thailand, but she has, like, she's a deeper voice for a female.
Yeah, yeah.
And my kid is going to have this like deeper, like raspy voice. So,
really?
Yeah, I want him to be a little.
Forward, like,
yeah, man, I'm like, I want him to sing. I want him to be a fucking like metal god.
Yeah, Dio.
Yeah. Hell, dude, I love Dio.
Dio.
His voice. Another voice. It's phenomenal.
Amazing voice. Yeah. From a small dude. He's like 5'3".
He's like a little Napoleon.
Yeah, he's a way small guy. And ultra nice guy too. From what I hear, anyway. I haven't met him either. He's passed away. But everybody that I know that's met him is like, nice guy.
Yeah.
Small, diminutive.
Did he write the lyrics to like Holy Diver?
I think so.
It doesn't make any sense. I've never understood that.
It doesn't make sense.
But it's beautiful.
Metal doesn't often make sense to me. How you feel about Lemmy passing?
Saddened.
Yeah. It's kind of icon, right?
No, he is like just this warded out like crazy rocker, man. Like he's phenomenal.
Catcher's mitt of a man.
He's a catcher's mitt. I mean,
there's something, and I think I mentioned this in another interview I had, but there's something about Lemmy falling that the empire will fall now. You know what I mean? There was something.
He was the last peg holding up that.
That's exactly right. He's like the last pillar of classic metal and classic rock, and there's something that to me feels very Doom-ish.
Rock is dead, man.
It kind of is.
It's dead.
Yeah. I mean, besides Dave, I mean, I love Dave Grohl, and I think Dave's holding it up.
Yeah.
But that's kind of it.
That's it, man.
Dave's 40-something. When he turns 50, Dave's not going to be the same dude anymore. He's not going to be able to write the same.
No, man. No.
You got Queens of the Stone Age, too. Jack White, I guess.
Jack White, I would say, is a...
How do you feel about Jack White?
I mean, I don't think he's completely rock, you know? Like,
yeah,
it's kind of hard. I mean, a lot of it has to do, once again, with the voice.
Yeah.
Like,
he's got a whiny voice.
Yeah. But even, you know what's even funny is, like, even, like, Scott Weiland from STP, his, like, if you look at the first two albums versus... Vatican Gift Shop and 4.
His voice changed completely.
Like there was no more of that gruff and like
no low end.
Yeah.
Like what is it? Big Bang Baby? Is that the first single off of songs from the Gift Shop? That I was like, wait, is that Scott Weiland?
They didn't sound like Scott Weiland. I remember being like, how old are you? How young
35.
Are you? Yeah, so we're the same age, right?
Yeah.
And I remember like when I guess I was a sophomore or a junior when that came out, and I was like, I heard Stone Temple Pilots, their first premiere song for the album.
Chorus.
I was listening to it, I was like, it's not Scott.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like him.
It's not Scott.
It's like his voice all choked up.
Yeah.
Like all constricted and stuff. I mean, I like some of that
stuff. I mean, there's some great stuff in there.
But it wasn't the same. It wasn't soulful. And I wonder if it's like the heroin voice. Not that I've ever noticed that there's a heroin voice, but maybe there's
there is. Like, you know, Seven Cage Tigers was a perfect example of another wasn't like. I'm telling you, like, I still think Purple is my favorite album.
Really?
Yeah.
It's them sounding like Zeppelin at their finest, I think. Because they went from almost like a metal band. Like their first tour was opening up for Megadeth, if I recall.
Oh shit.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? When Core came out, like 91,
92.
91, 92. And so they started out, and that's like the label, which I think was Atlantic. They're like, okay, well, you're going to be a metal band, open up for Megadeth. And then
you see all like the red hair. He's on all the red hair he had.
Yeah,
it's crazy,
so crazy,
dude.
man.
It's so crazy.
It sucks, And let's take a sip for Scott, because that's a fucking shitty thing. I knew he was meeting his demise soon enough, but
he went out
still influential, man.
Pretty rowdy, man.
He did. He came in as he went out.
Yeah,
he absolutely did. As for you, Scott, never knew you, but highly influenced as well, man.
One of my chefs, one of the chefs I worked with, met him 10 years ago.
Oh, no way.
While he was playing here in town.
How was it?
Fucking thought he was an amazing human being.
Oh, man.
He, so one of his buddies worked for a radio station. So my friend, the chef, went to the VIP area, and he saw Scott Weiland there. So he ordered a dirty vodka martini, and he ordered two, one for himself, and he ordered one for Scott.
Right.
So the bartender gave it to Scott, and Scott said thank you. He went over to hang out with the chef and started talking to him. And he goes, "Hey man, you want to smoke a little doobie?" And my chef was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah,
of course."
So him and Scott Weiland smoked pot together.
That's fucking cool.
I was like, "God damn, that's pretty badass."
That's so cool, man.
Yeah, dude, that's great.
It is, and there's a kind of stories like, and I'll tell you what, like one of the reasons for doing the podcast is that we'll have these moments and we'll sip this, and like no matter what happens to us, this moment cemented and it's forged in in the digital realm, So we'll get back to you. You're from San Antonio. You grew up. You go to a Catholic school. You get rowdy. You have a daughter. You have long hair. At what point did the college thing just not work out? I just
had to start working, and I mean my ex-wife at the time, she wasn't really able to work because she was taking care of the kiddos. So I was working like almost two jobs.
Oh shit! What were you doing?
I was basically working for a hotel and just working a crap ton of hours. I was working as a busboy and banquet server part-time, and then I was doing valet and concierge work.
Oh, cool. And did that kind of wet your whistle, so to speak?
Yeah, yeah.
Get close? Because, I mean, you're like in proximity to the bar the whole time, right?
Well, I first got into the restaurant world, so I started, I didn't, there's a friend of mine who's a manager now at Bohannon's, and he'll joke about this, that, because we didn't grow up wealthy at all.
Yeah.
And my parents spent all their money sending my brother and I to Catholic school, which I wish they just put that money into like a
travel or something.
Even like a custom whole life plan, and by the time I was like my age, I would have be a millionaire.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, my friend Sean would laugh and joke about it. I didn't know the difference between salmon and lobster. Like, okay. I mean, like I didn't know. Like I was literally
never in the dark about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting.
That's crazy, right? I was like 18 years old. Never the nicest place we ever went to was probably like an Outback.
Yeah.
It was just all steak. I didn't eat seafood. Like,
you get steak. I know what steak is.
I get fried shrimp. That's seafood for me.
Yeah.
So I got introduced to the fine dining world. Chef Mark Collins, who's now a chef in the Carolinas. He's a great guy. He's running his own place. Introduced me to some really great food. Learned about vichyssoise. I learned about some good wines. I took an interest in wine and food. And that's how the bar scene started for me. I started learning more about food. So I love food more than I do love beverage.
That's good.
I
think all inspired coctologists, I'll say that they come from.
I'm a coctologist.
A coctologist.
Oh, yeah.
No, coctologist. Yeah, there we go. But it stems from some kind of passion for food and for flavor, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'll never forget one of the best dishes I had were these jumbo prawns and a pomegranate garlic sauce.
Oh, yeah.
And, couscous. And then he had it was beautiful. This beautiful dish. The desserts they had there. I mean, they had these fantastic cheesecakes that they made from scratch.
What year would you say this is?
2001. So
so way early on. You're young. You're
20 years old. And it was this really beautiful experience because I was introduced to fine dining.
Yeah. Not a lot of people that age are.
No, not at all. So, picking up from the right.
Yeah.
Placing, dropping food on the left. I mean, sorbets, intermezzos. I was very much entrenched into the whole fine dining scene.
Yeah.
So it was all about service, and I learned about service working at this tiny little restaurant that had maybe 10 tables in there.
Mm-hmm. What was it called?
Polos.
The Polos. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So from there, stayed in the restaurant scene. Then I ended up going to jumped around different hotels. Ended up going to Hotel Valencia, working the banquet department, and the food and beverage director and the bar manager cornered me one day and told me that I was the chosen one.
Will you be the singer for our band?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, sure, I can do that. And
I can do that.
And so, sure enough, like they asked me to be like I was the chosen one to bartend. So they asked me to bartend at Hotel Valencia and V Bar at the time. That was like the hottest fucking bar. Like it was hot, man. Like everyone went there. Everybody. It was fucking hot. Like you know, we had basketball players. We had
what was a Friday night like?
You know, $10,000 on a Friday.
God, it's crazy.
That was back in like 2003.
Yeah,
we made so much money.
What kind of stuff were you guys making?
Just shit.
Shit.
Like I mean, don't get me wrong. I drank Ciroc on the rocks during that time.
Yeah,
and Hangar One Mandarin Orange. Like I would drink vodka on the rocks. You know, next door was this iconic historic bar called the Davenport. That a lot of my friends worked at. A lot of people that grew up in that era still talk about this really cool fucking bar that did these really cool martinis. But it was like this great bar, the corner of Houston and St. Mary's. And when I get out of work, I would have 2 shots of Patron. That's right, I said Patron.
No, dude.
And a Dos Equis with lime and salt. And that's what I drank. Like when I got off of work, that was my
That's what you wanted,
drink.
yeah.
Like, hey, let's go. Give me a shot. Boom. Done. One sip, like big old chug of the beer.
Yeah.
Another shot. And
that was it.
They ended up drinking Ciroc on the rocks the rest of the night.
I
love Ciroc. It's a good vodka. I mean, it's a good
fine,
vodka,
right?
man. It's good.
Fine.
Yeah, whatever.
This is the thing. When you just want something that you don't have to think about, vodka is the perfect solution to that.
Yeah.
Right? It totally is. Like you put it on some rocks, mix it with juice, whatever. I don't have to think about it. Just do it, right?
Yeah, done.
It's like eating a hamburger from McDonald's. Don't have to think about it. I know I'm going to like it.
Yeah.
There's nothing challenging about it.
I love Big Macs.
Fuck yeah.
They're fucking good.
Totally good. Jumbo Jacks. Love Jumbo Jacks from Jack.
Yeah, the Jumbo Jacks are pretty badass.
It's good too. But the thing is, at some point, you're like, maybe I can do better than this. Because it doesn't make me feel good necessarily.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's funny. So the first time I had beer outside of like Bud Light or Budweiser or Dos Equis was Newcastle. That was the first like flavored beer I had. Yeah. I didn't know shit about beer. It's like, ooh, this is like flavorful. It's like a flavor. Or it's like I've never had anything like this in my life. And then next thing you know, like Boddingtons, I started drinking. You know, like obviously Guinness was around already, but I didn't really associate that with like a crafty beer. And I started drinking Sierra Nevadas and
just enlarging your palate.
Yeah.
And so did you end up going to the Davenport place to kind of hang out and see what was going on over there?
Oh, I would hang out. That was like my bar. My brother and I, that was our bar. We would drink there after hours and hang out and have a fucking blast. It was one of the most memorable experiences I had. Like,
is it still around?
No, it's not. So you know the Starbucks at the corner of Houston and St. Mary's?
I actually just saw it.
Okay, that used to be the Davenport. Actually, Liz Forsyth. She was a manager there.
No shit.
So you could talk to her about it.
For sure.
It was the fucking coolest bar.
I am gonna get so much of a ramming of San Antonio cocktail history today.
Yeah.
In these 4 fucking hours.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. It's
gonna
be really, really good. So where'd you go from Polos? Or no, sorry, Valencia.
Valencia. And I went to opened up Hotel Contessa.
Okay.
And that's where I got my first taste of actually making cocktails. In a sense, didn't know what the hell they were, but I was making really a proper caipirinha.
Yeah.
I was making a proper mojito. We were doing, and those are the first real drinks I ever actually made.
Really? Did you get it? Like tasting them, you're like, oh, I get.
No, they were really good. Yeah, I get it. Like, I mean, they taught me the way they did in Brazil, and it was like, and I still use that same technique. It's like it's really tasty. Like, I mean, I cut up the limes and muddle it like the actual pieces with sugar, and just it's gorgeous.
I mean, caipirinha's great.
I love caipirinhas.
Nice, brisk.
Oh yeah,
cachaços.
I love cachaça. It's like poor man's
rum.
Martinique.
Yeah, totally is. Tastes like snakes.
Like snakes.
A little bit of snakes. The snakes they burn out of the sugar cane. So, but you see this stuff. Did you feel like the environment for cocktails was also changing? Like
no, it was completely over my head. I mean, it really wasn't a cocktail bar. We had like some cocktails. What people would call cocktails now, they were just considered South American or Central American drinks.
Yeah, which is funny because they are kind of classic cocktails.
Yeah, they are classic cocktails. Yeah,
kind of Cuban, right?
Yeah.
That is the innovation, isn't it? Yeah. Havana,
So from there, I got picked up by a manager at the Watermark Hotel, which is now the Macara.
Okay.
And down on the river level is a restaurant called what was it called? It was called Pesca.
Pesca.
So I got asked to go I got asked to bartend over there, and when I went there, they had a gigantic tequila selection.
Really? I imagine Mexican seafood place.
Yes.
Yeah. I know some Spanish, I think.
Yeah.
Pesca.
It's okay. So so I ended up learning a lot about tequila, and what happened is the general manager asked me to do a tequila seminar, like in September, a year after I got there, and he said, "You have 1 month to study all you can about tequila." So within that 1 month, I went on several websites. I bought a book, started cross-referencing different websites and books.
Yeah.
And I learned a shit ton about tequila, and I learned to love tequila. Like, oh shit, like tequila's fantastic. Like,
yeah, so many elements to it.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, I was totally had a hard on for this, the Espolón at the time because it was the Reposados were aged in 3 different types of oak.
Right.
Like all these like really cool like
you got mixto, you have lowland, highland.
Yes.
It's crazy different.
Yeah, it was great. So like I learned all about that. And I became this huge advocate of tequila, and I started selling tequila all the time. And slowly I started adopting the mezcal because they had mezcals there. And
they had mezcals there too.
So they had mezcals there.
Early 2000s.
2000. This is already 2007.
Okay. But still, there's not a real big climate for mezcal.
No, we had like 4 or 5 mezcals there.
That's incredible.
So at the time, like before I went to Pesca, I was already drinking Scotch. So I was drinking Johnny Walker Blacks, and I was a huge fan of Lagavulin and Lafroig. So people that came in to drink Lagavulin and Lafroig, I was like, listen, you have to try mezcal.
Yeah.
If you like these really smoky island Scotch,
yeah.
it's not very different. And there's this one guy in particular who's from England. I'll never forget him. His name is Mr. Small. Martin Small. That was his name.
Martin Small.
And he loved mezcal.
Yeah.
He stopped drinking Lafroig, and he sent me a letter like a month later thanking me.
That's
like,
fucking crazy.
Yeah. And so during that whole time, Partida ended up hearing about me, and I got asked to work with Partida Tequila as their like bartender ambassador. So I worked for Partida Tequila for 2 years.
How'd you like that experience?
I loved it. I mean, I got to meet Bobby Hugel.
Yeah.
I met Damien Windsor out of L.A., Eric Castro.
Yeah.
Russell. Why does everyone laugh when we talk about Russell?
Man, I love him. I've never hung out with Russell, but I got some stories.
He's so fucking funny, man. Yeah. I love that man. I love him.
Dude.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, I'd like to have him on. We'll see if I can reach out to him.
Yeah, you should. He's good people's.
But you're seeing that spirits can be art, because to keep like that level of exposure to the elements of production and being out there in the market, being a brand ambassador, mix all whatever it was, like that opened your eyes to it.
Well, it really didn't hit me until I went to the Anvil to see Bobby, and I was like, holy shit, I don't know how to make cocktails. I was completely humbled. I was like, I'm gonna fucking learn how to make cocktails.
That's amazing.
Because I don't like people being better than me.
out of egocentric necessity.
I was younger then, I was hungry, I mean,
you're not writing a better song than me, fucker.
Fuck you. I have a better voice.
But that's sometimes reacting to the excellence of others is what makes you great.
Indeed.
You know what I
mean, I can acknowledge that he was a phenomenal bartender and better than me. Like there's acknowledgement that it's like I can never say like, oh fuck that guy. Like, no, he's a phenomenal bartender.
Yeah.
He was great. Like watching him, he was fluid. He knew his shit. He made fantastic drinks, and I was like, holy crap! Like I'm gonna take note of this, and I'm gonna become better.
Yeah,
you're gonna make me better. Thank you. Like that's how it was.
It's like Karate Kid or something.
Yeah, like Mr. Miyagi. Like
shake on,
but with round eyes. Yeah.
Yes, right.
I can say that. My wife's Asian.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
My son has round eyes.
Okay, you're grandfathered in or fathered in this case. I can't say it, so you're gonna have to all the racial invectives and like all the great things that I can't say.
Cover most of it.
Just cover it.
Oh yeah, I will. Promise. I'll chime in.
But yeah, so Anvil is a turning point for you. You're like, fuck, I don't know shit now.
Yeah,
great.
I could say for a very brief moment I walked away with my tail between my legs, but then I was like, it became very inspirational to me. I was like, holy shit, like, I can do this.
Yeah.
Then I started seeing other people from around the country, talking to people around the country, and next thing you know, like I was taking bits and pieces from all parts of the country.
And you were still working with
Partida,
right? Yeah, Partida.
So that was a game changer for me because I was able to see different parts of the world that different parts of the cocktail world in the United States.
But so how long did that gig with Partida last?
2 years.
2 years, you said. And so you had like this newfound inspiration after you kind of left that gig, and you're like, I have to do it because like as a brand ambassador or whatnot, you don't necessarily have the power, although you've got the knowledge to do great things, but you only have a certain capacity.
Correct.
It's like where'd you head up?
After that, I ended up opening up Bohannon's downstairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with Don Marsh, who now owns 1919.
Okay, cool.
Another great teacher of mine. He's just completely. He knows so much more about whiskey than most people I know. Just completely spirit savvy guy.
That's the longest bar I've been to. I think.
Yeah, it's pretty. Well, Esquire is probably the biggest.
Yeah, no, Esquire is massive, but it's not as long though, is it?
Yeah,
it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the spots are really incredible.
Yeah. So Don taught me a lot about spirits. So he's kind of like my spirit father.
Your spirit animal.
Yeah, he is my spirit animal.
So is this true? And you don't even have to talk about it, but did you guys have falling out of some sort?
Don?
Yeah.
It was really ish. I mean, look, man, the truth is there's probably some things I can't say.
Yeah, sure.
But I mean, it was some pretty fucked up shit that went on. But I mean, we're cool now. I love him to pieces. I wish him the best.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's all about now. I think there was probably some resentment because I ended up going to the Green Lantern. I took a job over there when I think he wanted to go, and then he ended up leaving Bohannon's and went to Green Lantern and fired me. There's a little bit of animosity there, but I told him hey, you're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he had a huge falling out with the owner of Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm. Is Green Lantern still around?
I think so.
Yeah, but not at the top of the list anymore.
No,
right?
Not at all. So, I mean, there was there were some things that happened, and so basically there was 4 or 5 kind of foundation builders of the cocktail culture, and 3 of them being Steve Mahoney, myself, and Don Marsh. None of us really talked to each other at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though together you would have accomplished.
I never really
right?
did. The funniest thing, I never really did anything. I was kind of in the middle of this little war between both of them.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so strange.
It was really weird.
Do you feel like you're kind of a whipping boy sometimes because you're such a nice guy? People will just give you shit?
No, I'm not always a nice guy.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I want to see it turn. We'll see.
No, I don't. No, that's not nice to. Ask my brother. It's not really good to see things. It's not a good thing. No, not at all.
That rage.
No, but I think a lot of us. I still talk to Don. Don and I are cool. I love the guy. I think he's a good human being. Downright. I just Don is very competitive. Mm-hmm. He's a super competitive guy, and he wants to be the best of the best. That's just the way he is.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And I am.
You're not so different. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not the same. I'm not very different than he is.
Yeah, I was gonna say if Anvil causes you to be brilliant, there you go. It's a competitive spirit.
No, it's complete. I'm very, very competitive. Yeah. So I mean, that. That's what Don and I respect the hell out of Don. I think he's. I wish him the best. He's great.
Well, it's good. And you guys were there, kind of starting it up. And so you from Bohannon's. When did you end up at Esquire?
So I ended up after Don fired me at a Green Lantern. I literally was out of a job for 20 minutes, and I got asked to run this tiny little bar called Le Midi. Mm-hmm. It was at the corner of Houston and Navarro, which is right down the street from Bohannon's. And when I got there, I got to do whatever the hell I wanted.
Who was running the bar?
I was running the bar.
No, I mean who opened it? Someone else.
Some guy opened it.
Okay.
And he left, and they asked me to come in, and I did. I did whatever the hell I wanted. So I mean, at that time, we were doing. I was playing with liquid nitrogen. I was playing with reverse purification. Because it was such a small bar, I could. Mm-hmm. I was doing foams. I was doing I was doing all kinds of crazy.
That was your lab.
That was my lab. A lot of what people are doing now, we did it. Because I was already following Dave Arnold and all these cats.
Yeah, yeah.
My buddy worked at WD 40.
Yeah, No, yeah.
WD 50.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I can't remember. I know
he worked at Wiley Dufresne.
Yeah.
He worked there. So when he left, came back to San Antonio 2 months after I took over Le Midi, him and I got together. We started doing these crazy fucking experiments with what's it called? Essential oils, carbonating cocktails. Agar. It was fucking cool, man. It was extremely experimental. We had some really fucking good cocktails on that menu.
Did you have a lot of failures? I imagine it was one of those places where I imagine everybody that tried to fly before the Wright brothers. I imagine those cocktails things where the guys put on the wings and they jump off.
I have a really good sense of flavor. I can taste drinks in my head.
Yeah.
Flavors, I can already I can taste them. I already know.
So you can build it without even tasting it.
Yeah. But I mean, all the proportions. I don't always get the proportions right.
But you get this is going to have these 3 notes. This is going to be the bitter, middle, high. Actually, I don't want bitter in this one. So it's an interesting way. Do you see it in your head? Do you actually physically see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because are you a visual learner or oral learner?
Visual.
Yeah. So when is it that you are dubbed the king of
San Antonio? I'm not a fucking king. No, I'm not
the jester
king.
Of San Antonio.
The court jester of San Antonio cocktail. That sounds more appropriate, to be honest with you.
The jester.
So after so Chris Hill, who's the owner of the Esquire, who I consider a friend now. I love the guy completely. He heard about me through David Allen.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, I love David.
David's brilliant. Yeah.
Him and I we had a little tough time at the Esquire.
Yes. I had a pissing contest with him the first time I met him, and he
could be a little rough around the edges,
but only if you don't realize how wonderful.
No, he's fucking amazing. I love David. David him and I had we had a little bit rough time at the Esquire working together. Part of it was my fault, my lack of knowing what to do, and
right.
And we made a lot of mistakes over there in the beginning, but he was right on a lot of stuff, and I can looking back, I can.
He is a sage.
No, he is.
Totally the guy is. You wouldn't even know unless you talk. Like you look at him, like, oh, he's not a sage. You talk to him, oh, he fucking gets it.
Amazing.
He just gets it.
He gets it, dude.
He just
gets it. I love him.
Yeah, it's great, and that's the thing too. People this will be the second conversation today that I've had about Patron. Actually, people are like, oh, Patron. I'm like, you know what? Dave is breathing amazing life into the Roca and other kinds of like limited releases they're having. Like, I think people are going to really rally around Patron again. And this stuff, whether they want to drink the Blanco out of a bottle for $40 shot or whatever, I don't know. But they're doing some cool stuff.
That's cool, yeah.
I attribute that to him.
I can honestly, I respect it. I'm not. I'm a businessman. I'm not
exactly.
Yeah, I have to. You have to walk a fine line to be like Mr. Creative Bartender and also being able to run a proper business.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's a balance there. You want to have
like the Force, bro.
Yeah,
I don't want to be a Sith.
Wait, maybe I do. I don't know.
Maybe a little bit. You get a little bit of dark side in you.
I'm not old enough yet to see. Like, I'm going.
Are you a Padawan still?
Yeah. No, I'm Sith-ish. I'm pre-Sith.
Yeah, pre-Sith.
Pre-Sith.
You're an apprentice.
Yeah, for sure. I'm like 2 phases before a Jedi, but I was at that crossroads.
Yeah.
So you saw it, didn't you?
I did. I felt it. As soon as you walked in the building, I felt that. Yeah. The Force.
No, but you saw The Force Awakens, right?
Yeah, I did. Of course. Do
you like feeling like a kid again?
Oh, I love feeling like a kid. There's nothing.
So
I wish I was a child again.
Yeah. It makes
it was so easy then.
It's transportative. Like you watch, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go put on pajamas and have my Return of the Jedi comforter on my bed, So the Esquire seemed to be the launching point for you, though.
Yeah. So Chris found me through the help of David. He asked me to take over, be the bar guy at the Esquire. I did, and for the most part, he let me run with the program, however I felt, however I thought, it should be ran in regards to the beverage side.
Yeah.
I did not take a lot of the experimental shit that I did at Limity with me because it was too labor intensive.
Yeah. Oh, labor intensive.
And it was esoteric.
Do you think people would get it? Maybe more now.
No, maybe now, but no.
Not then,
no.
right?
No.
So it's more about because I always go back to the Beatles as being the litmus for cocktails. Like daiquiri works because you always get it.
Yeah.
You don't have to guess about it.
Yeah.
You I get this. I like it. Sweet, tart, boozy. Got it.
Simple, easy.
Yeah, easy.
Balanced. No, so then Chris let me take it over, and the first menu that we did there was good.
Yeah.
The summer menu was better, and I started playing with beer and cocktails. I did one called the Pinky Swear, which was with rye, grapefruit, honey, a little bit of lemon, and pink peppercorn, topped with IPA.
That sounds good.
It was really good.
Real nice.
Then the fall menu of 2011, going into the winter of 2012, was the best menu that I think we ever did over there. What
about your whole life's work? Is it still one of the best ever?
No, I don't think so. But it was it had some of the better ones in there. It really did. It was just some really beautiful cocktails, and that's when, during that summer was when Top Chef came to San Antonio.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, no, I remember that episode. Yeah.
Yeah. So
who was the winner that season? Do you remember? That wasn't the Paul Key season, was it?
Yeah. It was Paul Key.
Yeah.
That summer, there's a friend of mine who's a chef here in town. He was supposed to be on the show. He didn't, but he was already in talks with starchefs.com. So he told me Star Chefs is, in the summertime, he's like, hey, Star Chefs is going to come to San Antonio, and I told him about you. They're going to come talk to you. I had no idea who Star Chefs was,
right?
Or what they did, or
you're doing your thing,
it's a cool whatever, man.
Cool.
Yeah,
done.
So they end up coming in November, and I'm making them these cocktails. I made them I made them an only word, which was a mezcal based last word with celery bitters.
Oh, interesting.
I did a sacrilege, which was a chamomile infused pisco with an egg white, chartreuse, honey and lemon,
like a
with
pumped up pisco sour
with cracked pepper on top.
Yeah.
That was Bill Norris's one of his favorite drinks.
Oh, no kidding.
He told me that one time, and I was like, I didn't think like I knew Bill Norris at the time. He was at Limiti.
Yeah.
I knew who he was, but I didn't realize how big Bill Norris was. And
He
how,
doesn't know how big he is.
No, he has no idea how big he is.
It's almost like crippling to talk to him about it. Like, you realize you did this. Like,
So, like, I remember Hugo. Remember, do you meet Hugo from a Citadel? He used to work for Citadel Gin.
Oh, no. Yeah.
He told me, he's like, man, Bill really loved your drink. He really liked you. He was like, oh, it's cool. I was like, no, dude, like, Bill liked you. I was like, he doesn't like anybody.
What I hear, Bill doesn't like anything.
Yeah, so I made that drink for Star Chefs, and I made a basically an old fashioned with bacon bourbon and mezcal laced. So it was
nice smokiness with some
fat. Yeah, fatty, like barnyard.
Yeah, I remember the one thing I got from you. You did a peanut oil infused Punta Mess.
No, a peanut oil bourbon.
Oh, that's right. Oh, with Punta Mess.
Punta Mess, and
I can't remember what the other thing was. It doesn't even really matter, but that specific element though of adding the nuttiness and that fat to a spirit, that was something I learned from you.
Yeah, that was good. It was a gorgeous drink.
Thought about.
PB&J drink.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a PB&J. Right. It was so creme de mure.
That's right. Okay. Oh man, so good.
That was a really good drink. And then so I made those drinks for them, and after they left, I started inquiring about who they were. And a couple of my chef friends like, dude, they're like kind of like the right hand of the James Beard. Like they're big, like you know. So they interviewed me, and they made me make a bunch of cocktails for them, and then like Chris Ware and who else in San Antonio? No one else in San Antonio. Everyone else was in Austin.
Yeah, of course.
So
you're like leading the cause here in San Antonio at that time.
And I won.
No shit.
Yeah, so I beat out all the boys from Austin, and I got the Star Chef Rising Star Award in 2012. And the day that I received the award it was in February. That I went drinking the night before the award ceremony, and I got fucking wasted.
Sure,
like pretty
as
drunk.
You do.
Yeah, and I woke up in the morning with a phone call from my friend Jennifer McGinnis saying, "Hey, you just got a James Beard nomination."
Holy shit!
Yeah, and
that's insane.
I was like what? Like I'm hungover, like barely like slept 4 hours, and I got told that, and I cried like a little baby. And
that is what's that moment like?
It was pretty wild.
That's really wild.
So yeah, I mean, but it was all because of Star Chefs. Like Star Chefs, like if you look at all the people that won Rising Star Awards with Rising Star Awards with Star Chefs, most of them they're people that won those awards connection. Also had worked for a place that had a James Beard nomination for the beverage program.
No shit.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So that was the inaugural year,
2012.
12 of James Beard acknowledging cocktail bars.
That's incredible. Did you win?
No.
Who won?
Jimmy Him from PDT.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
makes some sense.
Right. I was still happy as hell.
Yeah, you're fucking in great company.
Yeah.
You have a meteoric rise now to a level. Did you even imagine like you'd be at the forefront?
No,
of the
man. Like,
some dude with long hair.
I didn't
trying to
really
be in a
care.
band.
I didn't honestly. All I wanted to do is make a good drink. I didn't give two shits. Like I just wanted to make good drinks and have fun, and that's all that mattered to me.
How much later did you start the Boulevardier group?
It was after I opened up the Brooklynite, and when I started envisioning what I wanted to do, with what I had. And
this is 2014.
Well, I opened up in 2012.
The Brooklynite?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
In October.
Wow. I'm sorry. The time fucking passed.
Yeah.
Because I was there.
Yeah.
So my life just flashed before my face.
A little over 3 years ago.
That's crazy.
So as time went on, we had some pretty good. We've had great success here.
Yeah.
This place
was a great San Antonio was craving it. I think.
Yeah.
Great ambiance, good cocktails, good personalities behind the bar.
Personalities behind the bar.
For sure.
So we thought about what do we wanted to do moving forward in the future. Was this going to be the only place we have? So and I was like, well, I've never been a greedy guy, so I created a management group that I gave equity to people who've been with me for a long time.
Sure.
Rob Gourlay, who's one of my partners, has been with me since Limiti. So we're talking 5 years. Give him equity piece in the business. And him, my brother, and my other partner, Steve Martin, helped me run all of our bars.
So that's what you said earlier. It's like if it was just you couldn't do it.
I'd be screwed. Yeah.
How do you talk about equity, you talk about setting up a management company. I don't know if it's LLC, a corporate C corp or whatever, but where did you learn how to do that stuff? Like how
I ask a lot of questions.
Just asking people that you knew?
Yeah. Like I had a lot of people that I've never been afraid to ask questions, and I love asking questions. And I'm very curious. I want to learn as much as I can before I know what I need to do. Yeah.
For sure.
I'm on a quest for knowledge always.
A quest.
Yeah.
A sage like quest.
Yes, but without the gray hair and
Yeah, you don't have like hardly any facial hair, so I don't even want to hear it.
No, I don't. I can grow it. My wife doesn't like it.
She doesn't like it?
It's
I don't think a lot of Asians don't have a lot of facial hair, do they?
She has hardly any hair.
That's right. It must be convenient for her.
Yeah.
Cheaper than razors, Jesus.
Yeah, she doesn't need to shave her legs at all.
All us Westerners, we're just bushels.
I know,
to
bro.
be trimmed down, bro. Like
I got a little patch, big old patch.
A patch. Yeah, well, a pasture.
Yeah.
Chest hair. For those of you who can't see but are interested in such details of my personal hairiness.
It's a big pasture.
Green.
For me. It's
lush.
It's lush, black, thicket.
Thicket. I like that. That's good. So you are 4 strong now? So you Brooklynite for the Bouvardier Management Group. Is that the official name of it?
Uh-huh.
So you got Last Word, Brooklynite, Stay Golden, Social House,
Old Main.
And is that the newest one?
Yeah, it's the newest one.
What's the concept there?
It's more pubby, so it's our first actual food concept.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How do you like having what is essentially a mixed bag of concepts? Because there's a common thread of probably great personalities, good service, of course, which you learned early on, but they are distinctly different aesthetically.
Yes.
So how do where do these ideas come to you? You just like
I have
inspired and.
Well, I mean, I do have some really great people, design teams that I've worked with that that we throw a lot of ideas on the table and see what sticks. Basically, I know when we open up this, I wanted it to be very very traditional speakeasy kind of looking bar because it was still hot at the time. Last Word, I wanted to look more kind of probably mid-century, and it looks like probably
like a Rush video.
Rush video, god damn it! We're going for more like just kind of monotone colors, very simple, but still very elegant.
Interesting. And
Stay Golden is just our fucking dive bar, like dive cocktail bar.
It's still known as Golden Gloves. Do people still call it that?
Yeah, people still call it Golden Gloves, but
it's different concept, different ownership, all that.
We just changed the name from Golden Gloves to Stay Golden because because Golden Gloves asked us to change our name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, fuck you guys.
He's like, fuck you, we're boxers, we'll beat your ass. Like, okay, cool, bro. Like, I'll change the name, man.
I'm not a boxer.
I don't.
You guys win.
I just want to love, bro.
Yeah, love. Just love.
Just love.
Do you feel like you've been in? So this is the thing. It's hard to kind of like introspectively look at oneself, but as an outsider from Austin looking in, it seems like you've been a formative personality, effort, spirit, whatever you want to call it, like in shaping the future of San Antonio's cocktail culture. Do you feel like you're one of the forefathers?
Yeah, I can say that with confidence. I'm not the father, but I'm like one of 4 people that have really pushed the cocktail industry here in town.
Yeah.
There's some really great people out there that make great drinks, and there's some people that are influential.
It's just starting because USBG just new.
Yeah, we're Austin was 5 years ago.
That's incredible.
But that's kind of.
But that's good because you're still cool. You don't take yourself too seriously.
But that's changing though. Like there's some like people in this industry that they don't know anything about service. They they're all very much to themselves, and they don't really care about service.
Do you have any words for them? Like if you could just sit them down in this booth and say like.
I would love to. I just think people get pissed off because I have a way of saying things to people that it's pretty direct. I don't like fucking sugarcoat shit, man.
Yeah, no point in doing it.
No.
Yeah.
It's just like I think that we are the progress in the cocktail culture here in San Antonio is fantastic, but what's happening is that a lot of the people that have been the forefathers of it who understand service, understand like
the fundamentals
of like being a bartender. We're all too busy fucking running places now. Like we're not in the trenches anymore. So and all the talent's been sucked away, and it's growing so fast that we've created a void now. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these cats that are coming up, they don't know. They've never fucking been in the service industry long enough to understand, like, hey, who gives a shit? Like, have a good personality. Say hello to someone. Like, there's a lot of, like, real shitty people that work behind the bar.
Yeah.
That are in it just for themselves. They're not in it for, like, for service. Like, hey, like, welcome. Here's a bev now.
Right.
Thank you for coming in. They're just grumpy shitheads.
Curmudgeons. I think the thing that calibrates me every time, maybe we release a new spirit, maybe I'm working on a new project, whatever, it's not about me at the end of the day.
No.
It's about people enjoying their experience, and it's about people having something come out of them, and being able to let loose, being able to relate to other people. And if you've got a curmudgeon, fucking stubborn, cranky piece of shit behind the bar.
They're there, dude. I can name fucking 5 of them here in town that don't give a 2 shits about service. And I mean, they're really good at executing this beautiful drink.
Right.
But that's all they care about.
Yeah. But it's so much more than
There's so much more than this fucking drink. Like, I can piss in this drink. I don't care. I want someone who's going to be able to converse with me, who's going to make me feel welcomed, who I can enjoy talking to. Because guess what? That is our job as a bartender. Our job is to get people to come back and have them experience a great time at your bar.
It's community. It's welcome.
We're the fucking watering hole.
belonging.
Like, no one wants to have someone shitting in the watering hole, man.
Almost literally no one.
Yeah.
I think literally nobody wants that.
No. I don't.
I don't want that either.
No, bro.
So what? You've got 4 deep. You've got a good management. I mean, it's hard for me to even project like what you would do next. Seems like you've got your hands full right now.
Eventually I'd like to get to a point where, like I'll have one of my partners will hopefully be able to run, if not 2, 3, if not 4 of the businesses as an operator with GMs under them.
Yeah.
And then we can start expanding our management company to start taking over beverage programs for other companies.
Interesting.
That's the goal.
It's a good move. You think your son will ever make his way into the business?
I don't want him to.
No. You want him to more academic
I don't know. Whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
Like, obviously there will always be a place within the company to,
But you wouldn't be like that. That's not you're not trying to create that path.
No.
Help him if he wants it, but not.
Correct.
Lead him down.
I don't want him to, I don't want, if he doesn't want to follow my footsteps, I'm not going to force him.
If he wanted to be a lead singer of a band,
I would fucking support his ass. Like,
what do you need?
Play at the bar, son.
I'll tape it. We'll put it on YouTube. It'll be everywhere. I'll make you big. I'll make you big. You doing anything for San Antonio Cocktail Conference?
Yeah, we're doing a few events.
Are you speaking at all?
No, I'm not. I don't like doing seminars.
No. Are you not riveting enough?
No, not at all.
I think that's bollocks. I think that people would come
quite dull, sir.
Well, it's good, man. San Antonio is constantly changing. You've been at the forefront of it, and I never had a good sense of the minutia of everything. And actually, before we end, so we have been sipping some bourbon. Full disclosure, everybody listening, we've been sipping some bourbon. And this particular bottle for this episode is this a 5th edition? Yeah, it should be the 5th edition Parker's Heritage. Sometime mid-2000s, but it is a wonderful Heaven Hill bourbon. 8 to 10 years, does it say on it?
10 years.
10 years. 10 years, and then it's finished in cognac cask at 50%.
It's fucking gorgeous.
It's killer, right?
So much barley and beautiful cocoa.
Dude, it's so much.
It's gorgeous.
And they don't often do a lot of cognac treatments to the.
No, I haven't seen.
This is the only
one
I've
ever seen.
Besides the Heaven Hill Select at the distillery, which is like higher proof than this. I think it's pretty much the same juice.
I love tequila finished in cognac barrels.
Oh, yeah.
The El Tesoro Paradiso finished in cognac. It's fucking amazing.
What's the color like on it?
It's gorgeous, like this amber, not as dark as that. It's a beautiful amber hue.
So everything, let's say you're 55, son's doing good in his rock star band, fucking owning the industry. Wife is doing great. You guys are sitting on the couch, chilling in your living room. What is in your glass? What's that one thing you'd go back to?
Honestly?
Yeah, dude, of course.
Like what I can tell you what I've been drinking now is wine.
Yeah.
But at that time, I'd probably be drinking tequila, man. I love tequila.
It's all about tequila.
Yeah, man. Good reposado.
Yeah. You like any of the extra añejo stuff? Like the
in the very beginning, but I love blancos, but I love the reposado because it's that bridge between a really strongly aged product of añejo and the perfection of just a blanco.
Yeah. It's a nice bridge.
Yeah, because blancos obviously, like if the blanco's good, everything else should be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I like the slight aging of a reposado where you can still get the subtleness from the oak, yet you can still get the rawness of the agave.
It's a good thing, and I kind of imagine you sitting there drinking that repo at 60 years old. I think you're still going to enjoy it.
I hope so. If I'm alive, see.
I think you got a long career ahead of you, kid.
Let us hope that, sir.
Hope so. Thanks so much for chatting with me.
No, thank you very much, brother.
Thanks, man. Well, there we have it, the always candid Jeret Pena. It was wonderful sitting down and chatting with him about Depeche Mode, Stone Temple Pilots, but really even more amazing to sit and see the Brooklynite 3 years later in such an amazing state. It's a beautiful bar, and it was great spending that afternoon with Jeret, talking about San Antonio, learning about the history, learning about his history, and seeing what's in the future, what's in the cards for Jeret at the Bavaria Group and the larger San Antonio cocktail scene. So thanks everybody for listening to Show to V with Mike G. No matter which Rode microphone you prefer to use in your podcast or what kind of mezcal you might be sipping on today, please keep dancing.